Well, wanted to do this for a little bit of time and didn't think of a good way to do it, but then Heroic came out with a new video, allowing me to do this. So, hey, everybody, I am back today with another video, and yes, I'm going to be reviewing every single one of Heroic Productions' domain expansions. Because when it comes to the domain expansions, each and every last one of them are insanely cool. However, not only did I want to do this video, but he actually asked if someone could make a tier list. So, here I am. Now, let's get started by mentioning first that I'm only going to be reviewing different types of domain expansions. If it's something like Gojo's, where he has the 2-second variant, the instant variant, and whatnot, I'm not going to be bothering with it. Because the 0.2 second one is just a little thing above his head. It's not really a domain expansion. Same with Mahito's 0.2 second domain expansion. It's one little thing. It's not a domain expansion, in my opinion. And yes, you could say that's technically the same for Idle Death Gamble. That is a domain expansion. It's just because of how it works. Bleh. Same with Judge, but you do stuff with judges. So, let's get right into it. Heroic made this video. Let's rank off the domain expansions so far. Also, I'm going to be ranking this by visuals, practicality, and usefulness. I like being part of the practicality. Now, that was kind of cool. And what it does is, obviously, anyone caught in that domain expansion will be able to do nothing. Like, they'll still see you, they'll still see that you're attacking them, whatnot, blah, 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 but they cannot respond. If you do it on a player, I've noticed that they can still punch in your direction, but that punch will not only do nothing in terms of hitting you, but it'll also do nothing in terms of you can't use anything that you're holding. So, I'd say because of visuals and usefulness, I'd say that's an A, because it looks insanely pretty, and it's really good for, stun locking. Next is Coffin of the Iron Mountain. A very simple one, but to be fair, he only used it once, and didn't even technically get to use it. But it is also a pretty fun domain expansion. Its passive effect is it sets the enemies on fire, and that is really busted. It even works while the domain is still in its animation, so that's free chip damage of like 40 to 50 damage. So that's pretty useful. Looks very pretty too. But not as useful as Gojo's, because that one can still be countered with Symbol Domain. So I'm going to put this one at C. Because not much is going on, but what is going on is very beautiful. The setting people on fire thing during the animation is really useful. So it's not an A. It's not quite a B. But it earned a C because of prettiness. Next up is both variants of Chimera Shadow Garden. Now this one I'm actually going to do both in one go, because technically it's the exact same domain expansion. And he's showing off what this one does as its passive. Awesome. Okay, this one I'm also going to show you guys myself, because he doesn't show everything you can do. And it's also just, this one's really hard to explain what it does. So, rabbits. Summon one Shikigami, and it should do this. If the Shikigami has a summon, it will create a shadow form of it. Or, Niue, I guess. It doesn't have to have summons. Now, I believe it's limited on which animals will do this, but still cool, nonetheless. They'll all be able to attack as normal, do what they want, and I believe while you have the domain expansion up, you are not limited to having 2 of them out at a time. Because I believe without the domain expansion, if I unsummon dogs, okay, my dogs are bugged. And the rabbits are also bugged. Rabbits, Toad, and... Nope, okay. I guess you just can summon them all as often as you want. Thought it'd be limited to 2 at a time. Oh well. But yeah, that's what that domain expansion does. So, practicality, It somewhat stuns mobs. It actually just slows them down heavily. They are able to escape it, and for the incomplete version, the regular floor one, I don't know how you trigger it, but there is an Easter egg that is pretty cool with it, where having it open seems to summon Awakened Toji, aka the Reborn one. So, how do you actually trigger it? No idea. It just happened to me at one point when we were fighting the Megami NPC. My theory is if there's a hole when you open the domain expansion, like a cave system or something, he will pop out of that hole and be a fightable boss. Don't know. Again, it just happened. No idea how to trigger it. If any of you know how, please let me know. Heroic, if you would like to explain how, that'd be fantastic. I'll pin your comment if you do, by the way, because yeet. But anyhow, the domain expansion's cool. The abilities it has with the complete version is kind of OP, being able to have the constant unkillable minions fight for you. And it just looks freaking awesome. So I'll give it a B. It's more practical than Jogo's, but it's not as practical as, well, Gojo's. Next up, Idle Death Gamble.
Unsure on who is going to win. Always bet on Hikari.
Now, Hikari's domain expansion. I have thoughts on it. So, us using it, it makes sense. Using the domain expansion allows you to utilize more moves on the abilities, so that already bumps it off of F, in my opinion. Because someone said, when Heroic requested this, that Hikari's domain expansion is automatic F. I don't think so, because it has a use. So I'm not going to say it's an F. It looks cool, and the dancing at the end, if you hit a jackpot, is a nice touch. But the only real thing it has going for it that makes it useful is your infinite cursed energy. Because locking your abilities to the domain expansion, sure. That, like, it doesn't have to be done, it's just how it is done. Having infinite cursed energy for 4 minutes because you use the domain expansion, yeah, that's sick. So, personally, I think I'm going to put this at a D. Because, yes, infinite cursed energy is awesome. Unless you're doing a domain clash, it's not that easy to run out of cursed energy. Like, it's hard. Well, anyways, you have a lot of cursed energy, and late game infinite cursed energy wouldn't matter too much. So early game, this is really great, but D in my opinion, because Also, the fact that Hikari hits the 7s all the time, but there's a chance, even with us having 100 fever, we don't get it? or like, and we have to go on a massive cooldown, he has no cooldown at all. No, no. For the player, kind of useless in some regards. Next up, a custom fan-made domain, Unforgiving Tempest. Heroic made this up. It's all him, except. Now, he also does not show off what this one does, so a dummy, and a dummy. And personally, in my opinion, it looks so much cool. I did not mean to hit that. I meant to hit this one. It looks so much cooler if you get people targeted inside of it. So, let's do it. Its passive is summoning down lightning. And seriously, it just, like, the animation for it starting up looks a million times cooler with entities in it. So, by itself, not that great looking for the animation. But with enemies, oh, it's pretty sick. So, practicality, it's pretty good. Obviously, all of these have a sheer hit thing, I think. And it just... It looks cool by itself, yes, but it looks cooler when there's enemies in it, so I'm also going to give this a D because there's not much going on. It looks pretty. It's really cool that it summons down a thunderstorm that constantly hits the target if there is a target. So that's why I'm not giving it an F or an E. Because it has a use. And it looks pretty when in use. So, yeah. This next one's going to be really hard to judge. Am I disappointed in myself with that pun? Yes, I am. But here is Deadly Sentencing. Probably my favorite of the simple domain expansions. Different things happen depending on what goes on. Here we get the death penalty, which is not easy to land. If you do land it, that happens. So, it's a really cool looking domain expansion. I love it with how visualized it is, and the rock, paper, scissors system is really cool of, hey, it actually gives the person a chance. So that automatically bumps it up to the D. But it does have some inconsistencies and whatnot. Like, if the player wins the rock, paper, scissors, they're automatically deemed innocent. If they lose the rock, paper, scissors, there's a chance of guilty with just guilty. There's confiscation, and then there's death penalty. Guilty is just, you're guilty. He will focus on you harder. There is confiscation, which negates all your cursed techniques and your cursed energy. You cannot use it for like 5 to 10 minutes, I think. I think it's 5. And then, as you saw with death penalty, it's the death penalty. So it's very fun, very interactive, really cool. Visuals are fantastic. Practicality is, no matter what you land on, it will have a use. So unless you hit innocent, you are doomed. So that gives it a B. Next up, another fan-made one for Inomaki. Chamber of Residence. Or Response. I don't know. Now, this one, visually, it's nothing. It's a tube with the moon and the top, so it gets an F in visuals. But practicality, it's quite useful, because what the entire point of the domain expansion does is you say a command, and then after a bit, like, at first it will do nothing to the person when you do the command, but depending on what the command is, it will then send it eventually through the tube, launching it back up at everyone in the domain expansion, hitting everybody, except for yourself, with the command that you sent. So if you did get crushed, it will crush that opponent, like, 4 or 5 times until you do the next command and wait for the next wave. It's really cool. The only one it doesn't work on, I believe, is die, because there is a instant kill command. I don't think it works with that. So it's very useful for his ability, but looks stale. Sorry, Heroic, but if you can come up with something kind of better looking for the domain expansion, I'll boost it up, but because of it being a black box that you have to wait on a timer to do its sure hit insane commands, I'm putting it at E. Sorry. Next up, his newest one that I feel like is the reason why he wanted this tier list, because, man, does it already get an A for visuals. Self-embodiment of perfection. It's hard to tell by the way, but the mouth actually So, what that does is, it's Mojito, it's not hard to explain, of, if you're in the domain expansion, he could do any of his moves to you that involve transfiguring. So, if you use the ability to turn a human into a transfigured human, you don't need to touch them. It will automatically do it just by using the ability. If you want to blow them up, like you saw what he just did there, don't need to touch them. It will just do it. And that's the only two it works on, I'm pretty sure. I don't know because, well, that's all we see of it from Heroic. Because Mojito is currently in progress right now. He is not done yet. He is not released yet. So, visuals. Automatic A for visuals. Not going to put him in A, however, because, yes, you can only use 2 moves, I'm pretty sure. Like, it might only be 2. But they're pretty powerful, too, when they're sheer hits. Like, you basically automatically win the battle if you are able to use it. But it does have one cool Easter egg that boosts it from the C I was planning on giving it. If you use it on Yuji Ichidori, it will... Well, not the domain expansion, but if you use any of the abilities on Yuji... Something hit my tongue. If you use the abilities on Yuji, it'll proc a cutscene of Sukuna telling you, know your place, and then you just die, or you get hurt bad. And it currently doesn't work right now, but he said if you do that while the domain expansion is up on Yuji, it will end the domain expansion. And currently it does not do that yet, according to him. But it's cool. So I'm going to be giving this a B, a high-ranking B, because it's just that awesome. Next up, the enclosed Malevolent Shrine. Now, Malevolent Shrine, I'm counting all 3 because they are 3 different things, technically. Now, Barrier Domain. It's pretty simple. The animation is amazing. I love it. And yeah, it just looks sick. So automatic C for that, and it's very useful because you don't even have to attack with that one. It just automatically does its slashes for you. So I'll put it in between the Judge and Megumi's, because it's basically the trump card of, hey, I can be lazy. Which, you know, it makes sense. It's Sukuna. Next up, Opened. Which is also visually beautiful. It does basically the same thing, but I'm going to be ranking it higher in terms of what you're about to see right here. No, but you can stand on it, probably. And it's going to show us right here that you can stand on the top of the thing. But here's why I ranked it a bit higher than the barrier. Not only does it have more range and more destruction, but it's also combo can do. Ooh. Which in itself just looks stunning. So, automatically, it's better than... I did not mean to move that. it's automatically better than the closed domain. So, gonna leave it right there. Its secret of being able to use Fuga to make a super bomb makes it even cooler. So that Easter egg benefits that one a lot. So I'm gonna say this version is better than Megumi's domain expansion, but not better than Mahito's domain expansion, because Mahito's domain expansion, a lot of freaking love went into that thing. Holy, does it seem awesome. And second to last, Incomplete Malevolent Shrine, which you need to be, well, this version of Sukuna to do it. You also need to nearly be dead. Ugly, but awesome. I love it. And when I say ugly, I mean it's that well made that I want to play it. Which I know is a comment. In terms of practicality, it is literally just the open domain without the Fuga secret. So I place it there. Like, because of Fuga being on top of the open domain, I prefer the open domain. And practicality, you have to be almost dead in Heian era transformation in order to use it. So that knocks it down a point or two. I would have put it higher than the open domain, but the requirements on when to activate it just make it not that worth it, in my opinion. But it's still awesome as heck. And finally, Ichidori's domain expansion, which I don't know if it has a name because it wasn't given a name in the manga, I'm pretty sure. Also, separate video, because he forgot to put it in the same video. Oopsies. But Yuji's domain expansion. So with that, it's pretty cool. And I made a suggestion that because of the trains, it would be awesome if he somehow programmed it that being on the train tracks while the train is coming by will hurt you, because it just makes sense and it would be funny and awesome. I feel like the fact that it levels you up each time you hit them should be changed, though. Because that's a little busted. Being able to just use your domain expansion and get free level ups because you hit black flashes. So, where do I rank this? In its current state, it's insanely awesome. The animation for it is really cool. The fact that the trains constantly go by, it is really epic itself. The black flash chances, yes, are weaker, but consistent and always hitting, and stronger than your controlled black flashes. Insanely fun. Insanely cool. I like that. And its practicality of, you know, always hit a black flash every other hit. It's insanely busted. So, yeah. I'm going to be giving this one a perfect... a perfect A. It is probably my favorite domain expansion in the entire mod. Just because of its visuals, the black flash chances, and it's just not... It's not too OP. It's not an insta-kill. It's not short. It doesn't make you insanely stronger. No, it's just, you activate it, looks awesome, you get hit by black flashes. It's simple, and really, really epic. Still love Mahito's domain expansion, though. His is also pretty cool. So, this is my tier list of all the domain expansions Heroic has made so far. Let me know what you guys would rank yours. For UG's, let's call it... So you guys can make the comment. Let's name his... Subway Flash. No, that's stupid. Something involving a subway. Yeah, I'm going to be ending this video here now, guys. I hope you all have a wonderful day. This was my tier list. Let me know what you guys thought. I'll be ending this video here. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you all next time, and goodbye. Yes, I said part of that twice because I'm stupid.